Right, I'm waiting for a delivery of a new camera and a couple of other things from Amazon. It's going to be nice because we're going to do some groundwork views on trains for Jen's channel, so that'll be fun. Plus, we'll be able to take the boat out and get some footage from that. But for the moment, while I'm waiting, I'm going to check through the papers because it seems I'm in a lot of them today. Thanks for yesterday when the press were phoning non-stop and the harassment was coming non-stop. All of which has been blocked and reported, by the way, guys, so expect something from that. I'm going to go through the papers now and make sure that what they've said is accurate and keep a record. When you're a politician, you keep records of everything because you're going to need it at some point. So I'm going to go through and get some cuttings. That's going to be fun. Right, hey guys, I've spent most of the day boxing up paperwork to make it easier to transfer it when we put the shelving in on this side of the office. And that's taken up a huge amount of the day because I have to keep stopping every now and again to take phone calls. The press is having a field day over all the transphobia that happened, and apparently, according to an Irish paper, I'm now an MP. Well, that's news for me. Well, I don't suppose you can expect basic journalism getting facts right from every single news source that goes after you. Right, I've had a call from BBC Radio Manchester. They want to talk to me on drive time at 5 o'clock, so that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that, kind of. Mostly just to get it out of the way, because I don't know what to think. Last time I was on radio, the radio host ambushed me with questions about something that we hadn't actually planned to talk about, and I wasn't happy about that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But in the meantime, spend the day getting stuff ready for putting up the shelves. And also, this has just arrived, a new camera. Panasonic HX-A1M. It's a little tube camera. It's like, you can attach it to a bike, attach it to a helmet, attach it to a boat and go sailing, which is what we bought it for. But you can also do the other thing we bought it for, which is put it on the back of a model train and run it round a track. Or on the front of a model train, now I think about it, and just run it around the track. That's going to be a fun thing to do. So, let's open it up and give it a look. Nope. You'd have thought an incredibly sharp pair of scissors would have done, but let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Right. Load of bump in there, look at that. Bump everywhere. I've got a holster clip hand holding thing. An extra lens. Oh, that's the infrared lens. That's going to be interesting. We'll give that a try when we get an IR light. A clip. And the camera itself. The camera itself's tiny. My goodness. And here we are. This is the thing we were wanting. That's how big it is. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's got a few buttons on it to run it. A bit on the back, I think, screws off, yeah. And there we have the connections. It's micro USB. Not micro USB, yes. USB-B, I think it is, and micro SD with a rubber grip around it to keep it watertight. It is waterproof and shockproof and freeze-proof, which is what I was wanting. It's got a nice lens on the end, and there we go. I don't know what I've just done. Apparently it's recording. Pretty easy to use, actually. I'm going to have to read the manual, of course, but I can connect it via Wi-Fi to my computer. If you can hear that sound in the background, that is Jen. She is outside putting together the shelves. This is going to be very, very fun to use. I'm looking forward to putting it onto Jen's railway and seeing how that works. Okay, it's recording.
So will it record the echo of itself?
Probably, yeah.
So when we record outside, we need to make sure that the sound on your phone is actually turned right down.
Yeah. That is weird. It's doing a howl around.
What happened there?
That is amazing. It's low light is not great, but the infrared would change that, of course. Okay, it's been pretty good in terms of test here, so I'm looking forward to actually using this out on the layout.
Let's speak to Zoe now. Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, can you tell me what happened?
It's pretty simple. I'd been making a speech earlier in the council meeting about pensions, and it got Labour a bit riled up. A few of them had made a few comments to me, so I knew that I'd hit the mark on that one. But Councillor Harkin had sat there just stewing and getting angry. You could see he was getting angry for a couple of hours until we got to the last but one motion that we were debating that night, which was about the ability of the council to reduce the number of councillors that it has due to boundary changes, and we can't actually do that. But then, because I'd seconded that bill, what he did then was to get up and make a personal attack against me rather than discussing the motion itself.
Something and nothing is what he's had to say, Zoe, and he said he has said sorry to you. What do you say?
If he said sorry to me, I haven't received an apology. So I don't know what he's talking about. He just said that he's given a formal apology. I haven't received one. And a few of the other councillors have already raised complaints, by the way. I've noticed he hasn't mentioned that. 6 Labour councillors went to the leader of the Labour group and made formal complaints about him. It's not just me that did this.
Made complaints about his behaviour that night.
His behaviour, yes.
Yeah, what do you want to happen now, Zoe?
What I want to happen now is to make sure that this never happens to anyone again in Bolton. We have a massive problem with homophobia and transphobia in Bolton, and I see this, if it's not dealt with, to be just a red flag for all the other bigots in the area to say, oh, well, he got away with it, so we're going to get away with it. I don't want that. We have a large trans community in Bolton, and I don't want them to feel that, oh, the police aren't going to do anything, or the council's not going to support you if anything happens.
I mean, you say you believe there's a large problem with homophobia within Bolton. How does that manifest itself?
Well, it mostly manifests as abuse in the street or attacks. Most of the gay bars have been closed down now, but the one that is still around, you can often see crowds of men gathered outside looking at people and waiting for someone to leave on their own. There have been attacks on gay people on their own in town. And it's one of the reasons why Bolton Pride was set up last year, was to highlight the fact that we have a big problem with hate crime. Right. You're welcome. Thank you. You too. Bye. Interesting there.
It's been hard work building and painting these, but I'm sure that Zoe will find it absolutely worth it.
So what exactly have you put together here?
So we're replacing a sort of a ramshackle third-hand set of shelves that are currently there, which weren't actually built with this job in mind. We're building onto the wall, just like we did with the PS2 game shelves, a whole set of shelves that are specifically designed to take things like, for example, these box files. And what we can see here is this big unit with 4 shelves is going to be right up in the top in the corner, so from the ceiling down, and that's designed for box files. The smaller units that's there goes underneath it, and the reason I couldn't build a full length set of shelves is because of the radiator, so effectively it'd be like a step in. The shelves on that are designed to take smaller items, things like Zoe's comic collection. So it's going to look pretty good when it's done, and it's going to be a much better and more efficient use of the space. And then finally, my favourite bit is the shelf unit over there, which is going to go above the window. And it's something that I talk about a lot with things like libraries. I really like the idea of shelves above doors, above windows, so that the entire wall is given over to maximise the amount of shelf space that's available. I'm looking forward to putting them up. We're going to insulate the wall behind in the same manner that we did with the PS2 game shelves. And because that's an external wall, all it will mean is that it will be a lot warmer.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you, babe.
That's alright. Remember, nothing's too good for my babykins.